of women. He invited me to his room. Bill O'Reilly. Ones are being taken advantage of. You know, you see white porn prepares both men and women to be sexual, to be the prostitutes of the future. So I'm confused.
Peace and Black Power. Welcome to another edition of BABATV, House of Consciousness. It's my absolute privilege to be in the company of the Red Pill, my big brother Red Pill, and I want to go straight to the meat of what I wanted to talk about with you today, and that's Harvey Weinstein, the Jewish individual, mogul, who is accused of, which I'm not going to say accused, I already know he did it. You know, I'm going to just put that out there. All of these female accusers, and they was down with it, involved in all this sex perversions with females. And now, but my question is, with the power that his people and that he has, I think he's going to get out of that without all them accusers. I mean, he controlled the press and everything else and silenced everybody for this long who even attempted to and bought them off, they knew what was going on, who even attempted to say anything about it. So my only question to you, Brother Red, is what's going on?
First and foremost, shout out to Baba, fire every time. Brother Red Pill repping Know the Ledge. This Harvey Weinstein thing is interesting because what it is shining the light on the culture, right? He's not an island amongst himself. He's not isolated to the behaviors, or rather to the crimes that he was out there committing, not just in Hollywood, around the globe. Because you got people in Italy talk about he raped them. He got women in France. He was getting busy in New York. He was all the way up in Hollywood Hills, piping them down. So my question is this: what is the statute of limitations on rape? Because they locked Bill Cosby up for a case that, correct me if I'm wrong, they said it happened in the 70s, I think. He had all of these accusers coming forward from decades ago, from Hugh Hefner days. Let's keep that in mind. We'll get back to that guy in a minute. I gotta be careful because YouTube is, crunching down on profanity and whatnot. But, Harvey Weinstein, Hugh Hefner, what's the guy? Larry Flint. All of these people are part of a cabal. It's not just Hollywood, it's San Fernando Valley as well. The pornography industry, go and watch the TV show on HBO called The Deuce. And they're showing you how 42nd Street pimp culture, right? Remember, pimp culture, women selling the body for $1 and pimps. And then that graduated into the pornography industry. White men who are the pimps, porn stars who are the prostitutes, right? Selling their bodies for $1.50 now. It was $1 on the Deuce. Now it's $1.50. Then Hollywood casting couch, white men who are the pimps selling the women and the men, because they're raping little boys as well. That whole Disney thing. For $2. Y'all want to hear some more? Because Harvey Weinstein was not a director, he was not a producer, we'll get to all of them that are being accused. He was the top dog. He was the mogul. He was the big homie. He was the boss. And he was affiliated with the Grammy committee. Now, when you look at all of the accusers, do a Google search, put their name and Oscar. Put their name and Oscar next to it. Goddamn, all of them, the majority of them all have Oscars. Why is that? Because Harvey Weinstein, prior to Harvey Weinstein, there was a formula that was used in Hollywood, the casting couch. And that was, come and give me some, come and trade sexual favors for a reward. There's a reward system in Hollywood. There's a reward system in the record industry. Shit, there's a reward system on the block. Want to get down with this gang? Gang? Okay. Well, there's a train waiting for you. And that's what they get down with. You want to be a blood shorty? You see these girls walking around Bodak red, the Bodak with the red hair? They blood in it? Well, they got sexed in by a few niggas sometimes. Maybe 20, maybe 10, maybe 2. And that's the culture that you see in Hollywood. Reward system. So you sleep with Harvey Weinstein. Ain't no regular sleeping with him either. He was doing all kind of heinous shit. You see, he's smiling. He probably knows Harvey, right? Defecation. Shitting in their mouth. Shit like that. That's why the women are like, oh my goodness, it was so crazy what he did. It wasn't no regular intercourse. It was the Harvey Weinstein way. It was the old Jewish man in Hollywood shit. You understand? The things that people talk about that they see when they go to the parties in Hollywood Hills. But if anybody ever visited Hollywood, you would know that the same people that get invited to the parties in Hollywood Hills come from San Fernando Valley. They bring the male gay porn guys. They bring the women porn stars, the strippers, the prostitutes. And they get busy with the black actresses, the black actors, the white actresses, and the white actors. Everybody that wants to cut their teeth in Hollywood have to do what? You have to allow yourself to be sexually dominated by somebody that's in power. That is the American way. And when you look back into it, it comes from American culture. American culture has always been the subjugation of the sexual deviation and the subjugation of people through sex. What was happening on the plantation and the sex farms with these old white men in antebellum South? Do you know what was going on? Well, I do. They had a reward system. You want to come in the house? No problem. You want to come in the house? They showed it in Django, right? You want to come in the house? We running trains in the house. We going all up in the slave quarters and getting whatever we want. So don't just, because remember, George Bush Sr., all up in the wheelchair groping women. If he's groping them in a wheelchair, he was having sex with him when he was standing up.
This evening's show at 7:30. Once again, tickets are still available for this.
Harvey Weinstein. Then the other dude there's a director that they just blew up. 200 women came out on him. First he had 40 accusers, then he denied it, then 200 came out. Where's the fake outrage? The same outrage they gave Bill Cosby, nobody wants to say anything anymore. So I really don't want to hear, I'm not really here for the fake outrage, because where was the outrage when y'all was mad at Bill? White actresses, why wasn't y'all blowing these white men up back then? Where was the outrage then? You got actresses that was like, yeah, I knew about this for 30 years, but I ain't say nothing. Well, I think I know why you didn't say nothing. Because all of y'all is up in that Hollywood perversion doing all kind of crazy shit. So, of course, it's politically correct to have outrage and to act like, you know, oh my goodness, I'm offended. You know what I mean? Oh man, I don't believe Harvey was doing these things. You're a liar, and you're insulting my intelligence. How do women talk? Women talk like men talk. Women get in the industry. Yo, watch out for Harvey. Watch out for this guy. Don't go in no room with him when he try. You know how women talk, but they also say suck that nigga dick to get where you got to go. Because remember, we live in a time where hoes are winning. They having slut walks, and all over Instagram and everywhere, hoes are winning. So if hoes are winning, Harvey Weinstein is not really that wrong, because this is a hoe friendly culture. And what do hoes do? They look for the guys with the money. They look for the guys with the money. So the hip hop industry has been plagued with rumors of homosexuality for decades, where they were like, they don't even want the women. These old white men want the black man. They fetishize, they want to bang the black man, they want to dominate through Romanistic practices, because we're in a Greco-Roman society where sex is a perversion. And the perversion of the sexual principle is how they traumatize, subjugate, and control people. Remember, all of that shit going on in Hollywood is done for purposes of control. Wait, what? You don't want to? You want me leak this tape to TMZ when you was getting Rat Pack? Oh, okay. Well, you're gonna go ahead and do what I tell you to do. They had a group called the Pussycat Dolls. The girl from the Pussycat Dolls just came out and said, we wasn't really an R&B group. We were a prostitution ring, and we just happened to sing. She said we were being sold to people in high places as prostitutes, and we just happened to do concerts and sign contracts, but we were getting passed around through not the industry, through to government officials. They were flying us to Europe to be amongst millionaires. They were basically taking us to Hollywood Hills, to all of these tech executives, Silicon Valley, and all of their perversions. So Americana is a Greco-Roman society. It's not Christian. It's not a Christian society in its inception. Thomas Jefferson and all of these devil worshippers have already told you that. It's not a Christian society. And even with that, look at what that shit is about. Look how they turned out, and you know what I mean, have used sexual perversion in religion. Everywhere that you look. Islam, Judaism, Christianity. The rabbis have oral circumcision on babies. That is a fact. You take your Jewish baby to get circumcised, it's an oral circumcision, meaning that the rabbi is giving the baby head to do a circumcision. You know the stories about the Roman Catholic Church. I don't got it. All up in the Caribbean, all up in Haiti, all up in Jamaica, all up in Africa. They've been putting thumbs in asses and doing all kind of things. It's a vampire system. So you turn them out, and then you turn them into society, and they turn society out. That's what you've been seeing. In the antebellum South, on the sex farms, they were not just raping women, they were buck breaking. What's the meaning of, what does buck breaking mean? Buck breaking means you get the big strong nigga and you break them. Look at what's going on in the NFL right now. The owners are talking about their bucks. They're like, yo, we got these niggas in line. What you talking about? We broke these bucks to the point where they called me daddy. That Sandusky shit was not relegated to Sandusky alone. Go talk to niggas that play ball in the gauchos and all of these basketball leagues. They'll talk about the coaches that was taking showers with niggas, giving them Jordans and all of that stuff. That's a culture. Buck breaking. Ask Mike Tyson what was going on with custom out. Buck breaking. That's what they do. So if they put you on the world stage, you already broken. So all of these actresses that Harvey Weinstein in company, you're gonna hear it. They just don't want to out them now. Matt Damon, what's the other guy? His buddy. Ben Affleck, Sean. You know, I don't want to name all of them, but they're part of that cabal where they have sexually exploited a lot of these men and women. Because remember, Bryan Singer, the X-Men director, Corey Feldman from Lost Boys and all of that, he was ringing the alarm like, nah, hold on. This shit is a culture. They turning young boys out over here. Okay? That's what they do. That's what they do. So, to now say, oh, I didn't know what was going on, all of the people in Hollywood that are trying to, they're just being politically correct because they're quote unquote public, their PR person just, put a tweet out, you're flying. All of y'all knew what was going on the same way that niggas knew what was going on in the Bronx with Bambaataa and other things. You already knew. You heard about it the same way that you heard about your uncle, the same way that you heard about your grandfather, the same way that niggas, men hear about these things. You turn a blind eye to it. They said that Harvey Weinstein was a bully. Do you know what bullies do? Bullies brag about their sexual exploits. Oh, that's your wife? That's your girl? Huh? Well, guess what I did to her? You know what I'm saying? That's why they was like, he was a big bully, because he was going all around out in all of the women that he slept with, saying, oh, nah, she ain't nobody. We rat packed that. You know what I mean? Like, she's nothing. That's how they talk. So, America, in its inception, is built off of the subjugation, the rape, the pillaging, the sexual deviancy of the people who, remember, the original pilgrims and the people who inhabited the Americas came out of the dungeons and the jails of Europe. So what do you think they came over here and did? These people have some kind of character? You niggas calling them the founding fathers? Do you know what they were doing on those plantations? And then when they traumatize the women and the men, they let them go, and then they exploit that. That's where you have vaudevilles. That's where you have what's the lady, the black sister that was damn near half naked dancing for white people who were hanging black men? What was her name? Showing her titties and all of that. Black and white back in the days. The Dorothy Dangerouses of the world. Right? These women were being exploited. They were putting them on heroin and drugs they just wasn't just putting them on drugs and not doing nothing to them. So some of the starlets were really harlots, and these women are helping, they're perpetuating sexual deviancy. How is that going to help anybody heal? So you got all of these Hollywood starlets that women are looking up to, and oh my goodness, she's the greatest. Come to find out that because like I said, you wasn't in the room. You don't know who came to Harvey and was like, what you need, like what's popping? Because on one leg, white women are some of the nastiest women who let you do anything to them. You see white porn. But on the other leg, they're these innocent, I don't know what's going on. He invited me to his room, after 8 drinks, and I just went up there, didn't know what he wanted. No. On the 5th drink, he was talking about putting thumbs and tongues in asses, and you was getting excited and rubbed his leg. Who knows? Only he knows, and only they know. But what I do know is that inside of these industries, there's a lot of voluntary sex going on to climb up ladders. People are bending over. Men are grabbing their ankles in order to move up the ladder. They're not being raped. They're giving that shit up. All right? And when you get into these industries, you hear the rumors. People tell you what's going on, and you still going along with it. So I hope that a lot of exposure continues to be done. I hope that the truth comes out. I hope that some of these young women who are thinking about, going into these industries, think about it again, give it second thought, or go in there with a mind state that you're not going to sell your body, that you're not going to compromise your sexuality, that you're not going to bend over for these old white men. Look at Fox News, Roger Ayers. They was just hiring bimbos and, you know, doing what they do. It's the same thing that Hugh Hefner has the same grade of women that you see on the Fox News. They're getting them from the same pool. All right? You looking at them different because they on Fox News. I'm looking at them and I'm like, these are bimbos. And Bill O'Reilly, Roger Ayers, pieces of shit, sexual predators. You understand? And I'm not saying that these women, these women, the ones who are being preyed upon, the ones that are being taken advantage of, the ones who have been sexually harassed, the ones who have been raped, my heart goes out to you. I'm standing up there saying that something needs to be done to bring justice for the wrongs that have been done to you. But we also know that also amongst that, there's a culture of women who are willingly volunteering their services to men and allowing these men to get away with whatever they want to get away with and do to them whatever they want to do to them. And there's also a humongous group of young women being raised up to say hoes are winning, conditioning them, socially engineering them to be the prostitutes of the future, because in hip-hop, prostitution is in. It's a green light on prostitution because the stripper culture and the prostitution culture is at the top. So don't get all angelic on me now. Don't start growing wings all of a sudden. I don't want to hear the fake outrage because y'all allowing this shit to fester. And whenever you allow it to fester, it's gonna get gross. If you let a disease fester, it only gets worse. So if you're not willing to stop that shit in its tracks, don't talk to me about Harvey Weinstein. Don't talk to me about old ass George Bush groping women if you don't want to stop the whole culture. There is no, they be having slut walks. 21 Savage talking about I am a hoe too and all of that. No. Bring some morals back. Bring some value back. Begin to value your goddamn bodies. Men too. You know what I mean? Because what does hip hop prepare us for? Hip hop prepares both men and women to be sexual deviants. At this point, it has men weakening themselves by spilling their seeds and creating all of these unwanted births or abortions, for that matter, diseases and all kind of things. Because that's the message that hip hop is giving 2-year-olds all the way up to 80-year-olds. Hit it and run. They telling the women, you know, get your body count up. You know what I mean? Meaning fuck niggas and just keep it moving. Like they want to be just like us. So their new thing is have sex with no emotions and feelings. You don't have. So I'm confused. I'm really confused because society is sending mixed signals all over the place, picking and choosing when you want to have fake outrage, but you're not being completely honest about the conditions of our people. You're not being brutally honest about where we are as a people, morality-wise, value-wise, and you know, just in terms of what's right and what's wrong. We're not being honest. You know what I mean? So, you know, it's all kind of things taking place right now in this world. But keep in mind, with all that being said, inside of the Oval Office, you have a president, a commander-in-chief, somebody who is in charge of all government agencies, and he's being looked at as one of the most powerful men in the world. He's a sexual predator. He had cases of rape. He had rape cases that he buried. He referred to his own daughter as a snack. He said, if I wasn't her father, I'd want her. So you know, a lot of soul searching has to be done in America. A lot of re-education, because where do we get sexual education from? Who is sexually educating everybody out here? Pornography, the porn channels. That's where you niggas learn to get sex educated. Let's be real. And for all of you puritanicals who don't get it from the porn sites, you get it from hip hop. And if you don't get it from hip hop, you get it from Netflix, you get it from the movies, you get it from Hollywood. Hollywood is a rest haven. It is a cesspool of perverted old Jewish white men who historically, that's why they were being persecuted. One of the reasons, because of their perversion, because of the fact that they were going into countries and bringing perversions into countries. They are the fathers of the pornography industry. Like I said, go and watch the 40 Deuce. Go and watch the Deuce. All right? So, you know, we got to get re-educated. Queen of Four has books. Dr. Africa has books talking about sexual education. All right? We have to re-educate ourselves, because if we continue to go on like this, bestiality, pedestry, pedophilia will be the order of the day. You niggas already got grown-ass men walking around dressed up like women, and you normalize that shit. So what else is next? Agape and all of these other things. So when in Rome, do as the Romans do. You niggas have become more Roman than the Romans. This is their nature. When they do it, it doesn't surprise me. This is what they do. That's why I make it my business to not affiliate myself with them or not be amongst them. And I'm goddamn, I ain't gonna be in no rooms with them with the lights out. So, black society, the black people have enough cleaning up to do within their own society. Cut that whole shit out. Confront the whole culture. Because if you don't, because the whole culture is in bed with the same people that we banging on. You in bed with the rapists. You in bed with Harvey Weinstein. You in bed with Roman Polanski. You in bed with George Bush. You in bed with the slave master. You in bed with all of these sexual degenerates, because you have become just like them, if not more powerful and influential than them. Because yo niggas, you got melanin and shit like that. So, you know, it's time to really start soul searching and search within ourselves if we are going to raise our fallen humanity and get up off of our knees as a people. You're not going to do it as a sexual deviant, and we're not going to do it as a society where rape is the order of the day. Look how many women hashtagged Me Too. Look how many black women have been raped and molested and taken advantage of. Look how many black boys, look how many black men have been raped, sexually molested, and taken advantage of. When are we gonna heal? Is the slut walk a form of healing? Because if it is, then it might not be that wrong. But we have to have the conversation and open up communications about healing. If my words are too harsh and I'm, you know what I mean, and I might be speaking to your pain body or your shadow self, then I apologize. You understand? Because I don't mean to be harsh about your conditions, but a lot of hypocrisy, you gotta speak to the hypocrisy the ways that that shit gotta be spoken to. So with that being said, love and light to the family, peace.